I've been thinking about video games because I've been thinking about which video games I should get, and like you don't know how to pick video games until you like realize you have to go watch people play video games. But that led me to think about online education because like when I was running for president, I was pretty obsessed with doing a revamp of online education. And I've been obsessed with online education my whole life because my dad did online education. And I did online education as a child who thought he was an adult. I used to write online education courses. And what I was thinking about is like a game like Elden Ring or something like that, or Diablo, which is like would be for like younger kids. I think Diablo is easier, or like Wukong, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it, or like even Avatar. Like there are things that like you don't think about. Like what I was thinking about is like how you don't think about like the possibility that like you could make someone know something in the game, and that is like critical to their ability to move on to the next level. Like they have to learn something, and so like I've been thinking about like role playing games and like x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, which is like a very critical thing to know in mathematics, in algebra, like in like algebra 2, like you have to know x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But they do a song for it, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And it's not intuitive to get Spider-Man, but I watched it and I was like, that's the game. But like I do think that like a kid could be so obsessed with a game that like they need to know something, and then that could teach them something. But what kind of information do you care about them knowing is really what I always wonder about, because like I feel like a lot of people care about like, can you tell me who was the second president? Oh, shit, oh, gosh. Thomas Jefferson? No! John Adams! All right, but all I'm trying to say is that, some people think that's, like, very critical information. Well, who was the fourth? Oh, gosh, don't ask me that. John Quincy Adams? No! This is when we electrocute you and then teach you to be a good student. That is one technique in the movies. But generally, the technique is award them for learning something or for doing something, and and can you teach them something? So I was just thinking about like game ideas, because like I was thinking about like how easy it is to teach someone Arabic just by starting to use Arabic words for like things like you're in the Sahara, in the fi Sahara. Like is something like that, like a person could like come out, like start saying Arabic words like periodically throughout a game, and then say it in English. Like that would mean like we're in the desert, and like they're in the desert. But then like in my head, something thought I want to do a chemistry class, and I was like, oh shit. Well, that's boring. Like, that's really hard. And so, like, I think what you have to do is you have to do, like, a MacGyver type story where, like, it's the end of the world. There's a pathogen that's released that's turning people, it's zombie type stuff, but they're not actually dead. But, like, everyone kind of, like, rallies against the sick people, because the sick people, like, organize together against because they don't like the people that aren't sick, because they feel like they're discriminated against. And so, like, it turns into a war situation, and, like, I think that he's probably gonna, like, the main character is gonna be, like, a MacGyver type guy, who's a professor probably at, like, Reed College. Like, he's a biochem professor at a small liberal arts college, but he's actually super genius. And so, like, you have to do, like, chemistry solutions to certain problems, but really it's like, I think it'd be probably, like, an Elden Ring type game, but like instead of magic you use chemistry, and I don't even know how the game works. I've watched like clips of these, and if you haven't seen what modern games are like, you should see Cyberpunk 2070 and see how that looks. That's pretty crazy looking. But I do think like Wukong could. Do you realize that like I could go and get with the guy from China and be like, hey, let's write something that teaches people about Chinese culture, and we're gonna teach Confucianism. We're gonna teach like Taoism. We'll teach Art of War. We will teach Wukong and Sun Kong. We'll teach Buddhism. We will teach Chinese history. We will teach Chinese geography. We will teach Chinese culture. And then it's still Wukong, like which like this game, like I think it's called the Dark something Wukong. That game is like absolutely incredible looking, like. So I can't believe that I'm going to be known as like the father of modern education, because like when I look at Cyberpunk and like I was kind of baffled by how cool it looked. Like what I immediately think is that like it can teach computer science. And one of the things that I think that the game developers like have not thought of is I can make a version of Sun Kong that is like this, pure game, and I can have a version where everything is said in both English and Chinese, and I can have a version where it's like very Chinese philosophy oriented, and it's still that good. Because like you're teaching Art of War, and you're teaching some Confucianism, and you're teaching some Taoism, and you're teaching. I think like you could do that good of a course just with teaching like just Chinese culture, and Buddhism and stuff like that. But it's a game, and and you always repeat things in games, right? The game always says, do this, do this, do this, and so like it's easy to say it like. Say something over and over again in another language that has already been told to you. So this is Avatar. It's crazy looking, and I don't know what you teach from that, but like I do know like a Chinese culture class is something I really do believe in. And a computer science class, like you the person could start talking about sorting algorithms and stuff like that, and explaining like a lot of computer science stuff that like in my opinion, like a lot of people learn things they don't need to learn, and then they miss like the big picture, which is something I just applied. Like I just applied this concept of removing data from my data analysis program before I ran the program. So that like, and also before I change the data, which is like you want to remove data before you change it so that it doesn't have to go through as many memory locations every time it changes the data, because there are less memory locations to go through. And so like that's something that like this person could like be explaining, like, hold on, like I'm trying to remove the data, like it's because like I'm writing an algorithm where like I am trying to change the data structure, but like in order to do that efficiently, like I need my program to remove. So the point I was trying to make that I didn't finish making is like, you could do this MacGyver type course, which like it's a game. It's like Elden Ring. Like it's mainly like he's got like axes and stuff like that. But like he does have a gun, but he has limited bullets. That's what I like, because like if they're shooting bows and arrows, like I think that there are a lot of like it's a lot of sword stuff, and sword stuff is cool, and so like I really do like kind of like that sort of thing. Like I think that Diablo turned into like Elden Ring, and so like I don't really know about the games. Like I just kind of watched them and I was like, I'm gonna go with those. So Sackboy was Little Big Planet. So but like I might just end up getting Avatar because I moved that up because it's cheaper. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It depends on how much money I can spend. So but what I'm trying to say is like video games can be like 50 different ways. Like there can be like the same video game, 50 storylines with the same video game. Like, and so like they can change the characters' dialogues, and it's still you just play through it again, and it's very barely different, but the dialogues are different because you're to the next level of Arabic, or you're to the next level of Chinese, or you're to the next level of Spanish or whatever, or chemistry. So like, because I've like talked about this MacGyver type course, which like he's a professor, he does a lot of fighting, but he also does chemistry, like bomb type stuff. Like his magic is chemistry, and so like you do like the next level of chemistry, and so like you have the same game, but then the words change, so they're not playing with the same words over and over again, because like you do like have like the education package. And so like these games can be reused, and artificial intelligence, like the one thing that I think of more than anything that AI applies to is like the fitting of like data that's like that to like a moving thing. Like it's like a relative location, and like it's like you can have a lot of different characters. They look different, but they're doing like, he could look a lot of different ways, kind of like your characters look different ways. Yeah, and AI makes that easier. So like I do think that like the future of game development like involves AI a lot, because like it just makes it more. I don't know. Like it seems like 6 years is what it's taking for those people, but I think that their APIs probably make it easier. Like I don't know exactly what they're doing, but it sounds like I'm getting into the game development business. So for the Cyberpunk game, like the way I see it is, like you can still do very similar levels, but then like you would basically change like the education part of it. So like, and you would change the storyline. So you're a computer hacker, or you're on a team of computer hackers, and but you also fight people, and so sometimes like your computer hacking team will give you a task, like I'm going to give you this JSON data, and what I need you to do is go and access the section that says password, and I need you to give me the username and password, and then I'm going to have you like retrieve that data for me, and like I need you to like give me also a hash of the password. And so like you're on a hacking team, and so like you have like a terminal, and so I think we'd probably do it in JavaScript and Python, because I do see kind of the future of programming probably as Python. I know Elon sees it as Java. I see it as Python. And I see and if Python is in the future, then like I don't see why we're not making it the future because like we can make Python easier. We can make Python more like Scala. Like we can, if there's a transformation on a collection that we don't have in Python that is available in Scala, we can make it available. And if there are things that are difficult in Python that aren't that we can make easier, we should make them easier. And if Python's not fast in certain ways, we should make it fast in certain ways. And so that's my opinion generally. But I do think that like having a computer science course where like you do get to go shoot people and stuff, and like you get to go race cars and do all that crap is a good idea. I think being on a hacking team is a good idea. I think like learning things like, because like you have to like, well, you have to retrieve that password, or else like your team can't hack them. Like then like why, like are you actually hacking? What you're doing is like you're learning how to go to traverse through JSON data and how to transform JSON data into usable data. And so like really like you're just trying to like get to the inner JSON data. And so like really like I mean you're not actually hacking, but like I mean like it's not about hacking, it's about like it's to teach you computer science. Yesterday, I decided to launch a company that does video games. And before that, I had already planned on doing an online education company, or like a technical education company. Like that was the cornerstone of my running for president, I thought. Even though I'm sure everyone else thought that the cornerstone of my running for president was taking all the military ships, fitting them with impellers instead of propellers, and using them to pump water, like salt water inland to the Mojave Desert to cause rain. And we were going to manufacture rain, and we were going to get more rain inland. Because you can tell us, well, there's plenty of water in the United States. We have so much in Michigan. California's in danger. So, but really what I think we need is more smart people, and we need better trained people and better educated people. And so I've been thinking about games that I need to develop, because I came up with this game yesterday where it was basically this game Cyberpunk 2077, except probably a little different. Like I was looking at the shooting part. The shooting looks a little hard for me, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. But really, like, you're on a hacking team, and like all the games that I've come up with are kind of team games where like you're a member with her and her or something, and then maybe someone else or something, and you guys, like, she needs you to hack something. Like she needs you to go get in the JSON file and write some code real quick to do something, to extract something from JSON. And that's something that probably you'd be asked to do more than one, not probably, definitely you'd be asked to do more than once, which in school, like, how many times would you be asked to do that? At least once. Like, I mean, if you're doing a good computer science program, you probably need to be able to process JSON, which I'm not sure if like every program does it. I learned it not in college at all, or in my online education classes. Like I ended up in another online education class, but I kind of knew how to do it anyways. But I really learned it in extracurricular hacking type stuff, which wasn't hacking; it was security type stuff. All right, so so she asked you to extract some data from JSON. You already know it. Like there's a walkthrough that you can go through to, if you don't know how to do it. But generally, you'll know how to do that because she'll ask you to do something else, and you will build on your skills. And so, like, you can play Cyberpunk 40 times all the way through, and each time it's different, and you're building on your computer science skills to do more things. She needs you to build a fake website, like, because you're going to hack someone, and you need to, like, fake it, trick them into clicking on something. So she needs you to build a website that looks like this other website to get someone to hack someone. So you have to, like, do that real quick. And so this idea to have this, like, game where you're, like, in the future and you're hacking and stuff like that, and then you get to go shoot people, because, like, really your team is, like, hacking and, like, taking on, like, a super corporation or something like that. That's really, like, what a game like that would be about. And it could be that similar to Cyberpunk, but really it's like, but you're always with people. It's kind of like the MacGyver game. Like, during the game, you're always walking with people and, like, kind of wandering around, and you just so happen to be with like a guy that's like MacGyver, and he will just tell you stuff about chemistry and physics while you're doing the game. Like, you're just doing it, and but then, like, he needs to do something. Like, he needs to make sure, and he might send you to go get some materials for his chemistry project. So you got to go kill people to go fight to go get this plant or something like that. Spearfishing is, like, kind of like a zoology type thing, but it might be fun building reefs, and plus I think it'd look cool being underwater, but it might be too slow, and so like it's definitely wouldn't be like a regular game. If you're like, you probably need it more like different, but really you can launch, I don't know, so a doctor game, diagnosis, surgery, like I saw a flight simulator is available from Microsoft on the computer, and when I saw that, I was like, I could have learned how to fly just for fun, and I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Like, can I, like, learn how to do surgery just for fun? Yeah, why am I doing the surgery? Well, I like, the video game actually does explain, like, the reason in which the surgery is taking place. Like, you're going to have to remove he's got a tumor inside his stomach or some crap. I don't even know. That's boring. I want something better than that. All right, so you're the CFO for the mob, which is like an accountant. So it's an accountant training thing. So like you've got to figure out how to like break the law. So like Robot Repairman, I think was like kind of like a factory builder. Like you build SCADA systems and factory systems. And I think that Farm Simulator might be similar. Like you pick you actually do the pumps. Uh-oh. Like you have to like set up like the timers. Don't tell me I have to set up the timers on my hydroponic systems. You do. Like a music teacher, like what I was thinking of it is like you can plug in your guitar like and like shred, or you can plug in your keyboard and like add music. Like you can be I'm still going through games. I was talking about the music teacher game where like it does teach you how to play music, but like really, I mean, it could say like, here are the notes that you're going to play on guitar along with this song we're playing in this key. These are the notes available to you. Like, and like, can you play, can you like shred on guitar with like 3 notes? I mean, yeah, it might be better to have a few more notes. But really like, it's the same thing with piano. And like, so I think that'd be cool being able to actually plug in. Farm Simulator, I already talked about that a little bit. Architect, I think like when you like are building the ability to do like 3D architecture, like you're building almost the ability to build video game backgrounds and stuff like that. And like, I think that like for the most part, like actually having software to build the backgrounds for the games is probably like the most critical thing you can do. Like it's like the holy grail of video game development things to develop. So architect could be complicated. You have an advertising agency. You have to do like Photoshop type stuff. They give you assignments. But then you have to go but then your competitor is an asshole. They don't like you because you're beating them too much. Clash of Demons is like heaven and earth. Like I think all the games tend to be very dark, except for Wukong. Like some of them get a little brighter. Avatar gets brighter, but a lot of the games are like in hell and stuff like that. And like we might just want to make them not actually in hell. Fashion Empire, you design clothes, and like you go to war with some evil like Cruella de Vil type person. The Quantum Realm, it teaches you about quantum physics. Zookeeper during like an invasion. I don't know. Slave Wars, like Satan. This would be like part 2 because there's like Satan who has a rebellion in heaven against like in Luxor against the Egyptian Empire, and he overthrows the empire. And so like that's a game. And then the other game would be like he leads like a slave war against you, which would be like. Well, actually, that would be in the part of his rebellion. I don't know. So Jesus dies and like he comes back and he goes to war with the high priest and stuff from this like crazy ass religion, and like that's the Isus War. So like you would be like a slave war based out of like in Jerusalem. Network security engineer. Like you do computer stuff. It's a computer but like you work for a company that like does like you do security for the company. So I've talked about a lot of these games and I'm kind of pretty far down here. I have Speaker of the House up there, and like once again, that's a computer science course. You'd never believe that Speaker of the House is a computer science course, but you're a computer scientist who becomes Speaker of the House. They decide to put you in charge and you're a computer scientist. What are you going to do with the budget? So like you have like this massive budget, but like you have to do computer science stuff. Like so like it might be like on SQL or something like that, which the hacking team would probably do XML, JSON, and SQL, and they would do it constantly. And they would do like you have to deploy a server for some reason, like you have to do that sort of stuff. So it'd be cool. Like I think like a cyberpunk game with hacking would be the coolest. I think like slave wars would be fun, and like fighting like the high priest and stuff like that would be fun. I think being a spy in the Holy Land would be fun. Peloponnesian Wars, like that's like you're like it's almost like what is it called? World of Warcraft type stuff. Is how I see like Peloponnesian Wars, and like the Arrival 5000 BC is like you're like you have to like worry about like the wild animals and crap like that, but like you're a kid, and like everyone's like really confused, and like you have to like invent language, and then like but then you also like have to worry about like the indigenous people and stuff like that, and but then you're on a spaceship, and like but then like you can like but then like this space ship is what's training you. So the robot's training the child, and if the robot's training the child, the robot's training you, because it can train you in like children's education while you're playing a game. But like the child, like because you would be a child in the Arrival, like 'cause it's the Arrival on Earth of like us, like Meg and me and whoever else. So yeah, those are the games I've come up with this morning. And my favorite game is the Hacking Team, because like I think like it would constantly be like, okay, well, here's some XML data. Like, can you go get this for me out of the XML data? Can you go find this in there, because we need it for this? And like and then when you complete the task, then like next thing you know, you're getting like you're so excited because like I got a new outfit for my guy. Like suddenly he has like a bionic eye that can like that like has, like tells you things. Like suddenly he's got an implant in his brain, so he has the internet in his head, like some crap like that. Like you can do upgrades based on the fact that they did. I just real quick want to talk about this doctor game, because the more I think about it, the more I think like the doctor could be tied to a robot surgeon, because there are robot surgeons nowadays, and I think that like if we're building a robot that does surgery, then we could use a PlayStation controller, because it has like 4 buttons, then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it has 2 joysticks, right? I mean, how much more can you put in a two-handed controller? Probably none. So I think that it would be very similar to like controlling a robot at a hospital for a doctor. And so, but like it could be in the future. It could be a Star Wars type game. Like your coworkers could be robots and cyborgs and stuff like that. But then you generally do operations on humans. Like I think that like you move the robot into place, and then you probably send out like a sensor and to like figure out your proximity to like whatever you're removing or something like that. Because say you have to remove someone's appendix, well, you'd go down to where the appendix. Well, you cut first, and then you have that part of the robot open it, and then you move things, and then you clamp it or whatever, and then you see the appendix, and then you do a sensor reading, and it figures out the proximity, and then it moves closer, and then you do another sensor reading, and then it might collapse around, or like grab whatever, or do whatever. And so then I can do a TV show about a child who moves to Africa and becomes a robot surgeon. But more than anything, I think that we'd be developing a robot that does surgery while developing a way to train people to do that robot while developing games. Because like you could work for like an evil corporation in the future, or like you could work at a hospital and like, but like you're in like Sin City, like where it's like super bad. Which Sin City would be a pretty good location for a film or for a video game also. Yeah, so I think that we could do a lot of really fun doctor type games, because the doctor could shoot people too. Like, I mean, and that's the reality about all these games is like you can turn it into a situation where like you're in a war with like the the fashion mafia, and so they've done something, and so you have to fight them or whatever. So, all right, that's enough.